Sleeping Lizards, week 3 of NFL Primetime will make you flip. The minister was making a charge on the Bolts. While in Chicago, Cox was laying down the law. Stop the presses. Glenn and the Jets look to pick off the fish. Hoss is back, but would his return be a bonanza for Oakland? Barry and the Lions looking for revenge in Philly. While in Dallas, Captain Comeback tries to take out the boys. Who needs Tyson Selden? We have Bengals Saints. It's no need to get batty. There's nothing to worry about because we've got all the hints. So grab a friend. Week 3 of ESPN's NFL Primetime. Once again, everybody, I'm Chris Berman, and welcome to Week 3 of NFL Primetime. My compatriots are here as always, and I don't mean New England Patriots. Tom Jackson and the judge, Phil Pito. It kind of looked a lot of the games ho-hum until the end of the day, didn't it? Well, with the way the Green Bay Packers have been playing and looking in the preseason, and certainly as part of the regular season, the rest of the NFC North kind of jockeying for position, but not so fast, say the Minnesota Vikings. After all, we're 2-0, and if we can go into Chicago and win today at Soldier Field, we'll be 3-0 for the first time since 1975. So, here we go. The old Norris rivalry. And Brad Johnson sits, even though he's had 2 great games with fourth-quarter wins. Warren Moon is back healthy, and Robert Smith looking good. Charles Evans with a big block, 14-yard run, 7-7 in the second quarter. Vikings on their own 20 in the second quarter. The pass picked off by Donnell Wolford, and he could go all the way. Although Tommy high stepped a little bit too early, but the Bears lead at 14-7. Same quarter. Eric Kramer out of his own end zone, an ill-advised pass. Corey Fuller makes him pay for it. Kramer intercepted 3 times today. 3rd and 15 at the Bears 29. Moon, Jake Reed, touchdown, and it seemed like it'd be a scoring fest early. We're 14-14 just inside the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and we'll take a look here at why Moon had so much time. Tackles Todd Stussy working on Alonzo Spellman, and watch right here at the end of this play, gets a nice pancake, throws Spellman on his back.
Longtime Chicago kicker Kevin Butler cut in the preseason in favor of Carlos Huerta. The kick is up and it's doink. It's off the upright. He is Huerta the Bears' chances this year. It's his 3rd miss thus far in 7 kicks, and the fans booed him. Still 14 all. Less than 9 minutes to go. Moon to Chris Carter. It's not a touchdown, but it's a 30-yard game. Carter passes Steve Jordan from
Brown University.
At the all-time receiving leader in Vikings history. He has 499. Same drive. Scott Sisson, 33 yards. Good. Vikings lead at 17-14. Bears have one last chance. 4th and 2 at the 13-yard line, but the pass to Michael Timpson ruled incomplete, Tom.
Yeah, you watch this here now. He gets both feet down. Referee focusing on the 3rd step that he's taking here. It's a bad call by the officials.
Sisson would add a field goal. Dave wants that, not thrilled. Had that opening great Monday night game, and they beat the Cowboys, but since then they've lost both games. And the Vikes, under Dennis Green, have snapped a 3-game losing streak to Dave Wannstedt. They had won the first 6 times Green tried to play them. They won it by the count of 20-14. Warren Moon threw for 239 yards. Tommy, it was a game in which Moon threw 22 of 44, but it was like George Gervin used to have like a quiet 31 points for the San Antonio Spurs. We're not knocking Moon and the Vikings. They won the game, although the teams kind of disappeared for a while.
I thought the score was not indicative of the way the game was played. It was played a bit sloppily. You saw interceptions on both sides of the field, more by Kramer than by Moon. I think the one consistent thing that the Vikings had is a running game provided by Ampley and Robert Smith. But I think that if you are now the Chicago Bears and head coach Dave Wannstedt, you are really starting to worry about your offensive passing game and the inability to get it going every single week.
Kramer of last year has not shown up this year thus far for the Bears, and that's why they're looking up at the Vikes and Pack, 2 games behind already. As we go inside the numbers here on NFL Primetime, the Minnesota defense, boy, I tell you, they do it against everybody, but against the Bears, 92-96 in the Dennis Green era, well, they did it again today. We told you they picked up Eric Kramer 3 times, and including a playoff game, which, by the way, was won by the Bears, not the Vikings. 3 interceptions today, make it 15, 5 sacks, and the Bears are 3-7 against the Vikings under Dennis Green.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
Turn on NFL Prime Time. Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots trying to get off the schneid against the Cards. And Packers-Chargers battle of 2-0 teams. The Packers were running away.
Fastest man in football, take 2, and action.
All right, Rocket, show us how easy it is to dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I just did it.
Did what?
Dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
Well, can you do it slower next time?
Fastest man in football, take 3.
Okay, try it again. Show us how easy it is to dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I just did it.
Did what?
Dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
You did?
Can we go to replay? Dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it saves.
Do you want the real truth about the leading candidate? The City Sentinel writes, this candidate has the biggest mouth we've ever seen. The Daily Times writes, the one candidate that's openly for sale. And the Weekly Contributor says, the only candidate with truly great taste. Introducing the Miller Lite Big Mouth Can. It's the only big mouth can you can buy. No long-winded speeches, just easy pouring, great taste. Join the party. Choose Miller Lite. Life is good. And when you vote, life is really good.
Introducing the Michelin X1 with a 6-year unlimited mileage tread life warranty. It gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus control in any driving condition. After all, it hasn't rained that much in years.
Nice. Not bad. Not bad. Step back. All right, Dan, let's see that famous fast release. Get real.
Be able to know immediately if statements like these are true. Mr. Gullible. ESPN News Network, the 24-hour sports news network from ESPN. Who else?
NFL Primetime is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way to save on collect calls.
In Foxborough, a pair of 0-2 teams trying to get off the old schneid. Bill Parcells' Patriots, Vince Tobin looking for his first lifetime win. First quarter, Bledsoe over the middle for Sean Jefferson. Remember, he got popped and knocked out of the Miami game. He was tough in this play.
Yeah, and great concentration by Jefferson going over the middle, knowing that the safety Hogue is there, knowing he's going to get hit, he makes the catch.
Same drive, 2nd and 10 of the Cards 13. Bledsoe to Curtis Martin. He's gone. He dives over a tackler in the end zone. Touchdown, 7-0. Cards offense horrible. Patriots ball under 50 seconds to play in the first half. Parcells on 4th and 1. He likes to go for it. Bledsoe looking very Randall-like. Up and over Terry Irving and sets Joyner at the first down.
And this is reminiscent of the Bledsoe we saw a couple of years ago, having the courage to run in there and do whatever it takes to get that first down.
2nd and goal now, thanks to Bledsoe's heroics on the 2-yard line. A play fake. Ben, amazing Technicolor Dream Coach. Touchdown. 20-0. Vinatieri misses the extra point. That's the halftime score. Bledsoe at the half, almost 200 yards, and that's what we remember. As far as Boomer Esiason, oh, man. Boomer's had some great days in the NFL. This was not one of them. Kent Graham warms up for his appearance on the sidelines. Meanwhile, Bledsoe warming up to Martin. Bang! At the 2, and he's in. Doesn't look big, but he's a tough customer. 28-0. The P-men go for 2 and make it. Fourth quarter now, Graham has the Cards on the 5-yard line, but boom! Chris Slade, mama, we're all crazy now. Forced the fumble. Mike Jones, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and it's another fumble. But the Patriots pick it up, says Vince Tobin, because in the first half alone of this 31-0 Cardinals shellacking at the hands of the Patriots had 18 first downs. Arizona had 15 plays. Boomer, 4 of 12, 22 yards, and 2 interceptions. Bledsoe with 3 touchdown passes. Curtis Martin had 3 touchdowns. The Cardinals had just 9 first downs on the entire afternoon. When we return, Lee George had a big game in week 2. Could he follow it up? Eric Turner met the Heisman Trophy winner. Kajana Carter up the middle. Kind of a coming out party for the #1 pickup a year ago.
Straight talk about hair restoration with Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Why should I choose a Bosley medical doctor?
To begin with, your doctor will have a minimum of 10 years experience in surgical practice. Secondly, he'll be a board-certified surgeon. After he joins us, you can expect that he will have received extensive and intensive training in hair restoration.
Can I expect a customized procedure?
A man's head of hair is virtually as unique as his fingerprints. So, although we've done more than 95,000 procedures over the last 22 years, we are very strong on the point that we take care of those patients one patient at a time.
Wait another day to do something about your hair loss. Call 1-800-414-4700 now for this free guidebook and video from the Bosley Medical Institute. That's 1-800-414-4700. It could be one of the most rewarding calls you ever make.
you get that stain out?
Oh, yeah, a little club soda came right out.
Yeah, mustard is tough to get out. It looks good.
Yeah.
Did a great job with that.
That's great. That's great.
Good? All right. Thanks, Dan.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, oh, by the way, you know where Keith's sitting?
Right over in the corner.
All right, I got his stuff here, too.
We welcome the judge now, Bill Pito. And I tell you what, not a lot of folks showing up at the Astrodome, but I tell you what, I wish they would, because they're missing a pretty good story and not a bad football team. The Oilers hosting the Ravens.
Yeah, and an excellent quarterback right now for Houston. Chris Chandler knows he has to stay healthy this season. The often injured quarterback has Steve McNair behind him, just waiting for a chance. So during the offseason, Chandler gained 15 pounds of muscle, and so far so good. Chandler's quarterback rating is second highest in the AFC. Says Chandler, I feel more solid in the pocket. I don't feel like I'm going to get injured, so I'm playing more aggressively. The Astrodome virtually empty. Vinny Testaverde, second pass of the game. Tough game for Testaverde. Darrell Lewis wrestles the ball away from Derek Alexander. Stays on his feet. Testaverde's not happy about that. The Oilers would capitalize. Chris Chandler back to pass. He's got Chris Sanders. He would get down to the 5-yard line. That would set up a touchdown. The Oilers would go up 7-0. Ravens' second possession. Testaverde again. Back to pass. This time intended for Calvin Williams. This time it's picked off by Marcus Robertson. He returns it 27 yards all the way down to the 23. So 2 interceptions on the first 2 possessions for Testaverde, Tommy.
Yeah, and Vinny rolling to the left side of the offense as he focuses back on his receiver. Peripherally, he never sees Marcus Robertson, throws the INT.
3 plays later, Chandler, the former Chief Willie Davis, 18 yards, touchdown, Oilers up 14-0. Late second quarter now. The Ravens driving for a field goal. Testaverde, you see the clock. Complete to Alexander at the 25, but they're out of timeouts. So the clock.
Tick, 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 tick.
Clock management issues. Half expires, 17-7. Marcia Broda and his team down. Third quarter, Eddie George. Last week, 143 yards. This gain, 12 yards. 3rd and 1 then from the 40. George, first down. Then a 2nd and 2. 5 yards for another first down. On the day, George, 17 carries, 174 yards. I should say 17 for 74. On that drive, 6 carries for 32. 3rd and goal then, Tommy.
Yeah, Eddie George did a lot of the work, but here Chandler hands off to Ronnie Harmon, and Harmon finds a nice hole over the right guard and goes in for the touchdown.
Eric Zier wants to play, but it's still Vinny, and that's not a good thing. Darrell Lewis picks it off. Lewis, 2 INTs. Testaverde picked off 3 times. Meanwhile, Chandler a good day. And in comes Steve McNair late in the game. McNair rode in, and now McNair is running. That would lead to a field goal, and the Oilers win it by the final score of 29-13. So McNair on the mop-up roll, 1 for 1 for 18 yards. Frank Wycheck leads Houston receivers with 6 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown. But the big story, a crowd of just 20,082. The smallest crowd to ever watch the Oilers in the Astrodome. It's too bad. They're 2-0 at home, and they're just not getting the fan support, and it's almost like these home games or a road game, but it really hasn't affected their performance.
Well, and that's a credit to Jeff Fisher and the entire team just putting it out of them. Good thing they had back day today, otherwise the crowd would have been like 15,000 for that game. All right, Billy, we'll see you later. The Saints and the Bengals, well, business as usual for these 2 teams. Saints 0-2 start for the 3rd straight year, since the 0-2 start for the 4th time in the last 6 years. Not exactly the Battle of the Bulge in this game, but what better way to christen Synergy Field? That's right. Used to be Riverfront, but they call it Synergy Field with a C. 3-3 second quarter. Jeff Blake has struggled his first 2 games, but he throws this one to Darnay Scott on the rainbow, 24 yards, 10-3 at the Bengals. Kajana Carter's last touchdown. The Rose Bowl, January 1st, 1995. Penn State against FedEx of Oregon. In that game, Carter had 3 TDs, 156 yards, and you're seeing why. The Bengals drafted him 1st overall. But an injury last year's preseason. And then today, Tommy, finally, they see the flashes.
You see a lot of those same qualities there, the burst through the hole, the speed to get down the football field, and he looks powerful, so you know he's got the power to run through people.
31-yard touchdown, the longest run from scrimmage for the Bengals in 2 years. Jim Moore's Saints, though, he started 0-5 last year, and Tommy's looking at another slow start.
Yeah, and Jim Everett with mistakes here, throwing off his back foot, and the ball is tipped by Steve Tovar, and Rod Jones makes the interception.
Then watch this. Torrance Small hits Lee Johnson. It's roughing the kicker, and it keeps the Bengals drive alive and they get a field goal. Then more problems.
Yeah, you see Everett here again, throwing the ball, backing up while he's trying to back up, throwing the ball, and Bracey Walker makes the interception.
And then Everett and Tom just behind center. They had a good year last year, but boy, not a good start right now. 4 turnovers in the second half alone for the Saints. Saints, though, still in it. They're down 8, 23-15, early fourth quarter. And you remember Bracey Walker? Remember that name with the interception? Watch this. Haywood Jeffries on the receiving end. Boom! Both the pass and the hit from Bracey Walker. Look at it right there. Same score, Blake. Look to Carl Slim Pickens. Eric Allen has it blanketed, but they call the pass interference, Tom.
Yeah, and as we take a look at the replay, I think that this is pretty good coverage by Eric Allen. That's why he got so upset after the play. He got his head around, he looked for the football, and the official still made the call.
Well, he was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct. He was upset, set up first and goal. It's Mark Fields and Ken Blackman. Forget that the enemy had the ball. Look at this. Mark Fields and Ken Blackman. Hit the left to the face and the right to the jaw. And they're going at it toe-to-toe. Look at Mark Fields. This sums up the whole day. Swing and a miss for the Saints. And 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. 3 plays later. Eric sleeping with the enemy. Whee! Into the end zone. 5 yards. Probably our favorite nickname in football. Sleeping with the enemy, the touchdown. And the Bengals get off the schneid. Dave Shula wins for the first time this year. Bengals win it 30-15. John ran for 63 yards. We told you 3 interceptions of Jim Everett. 11,000 empty seats, unfortunately, for the Bengals. Maybe the folks will start to come out. Pickens caught 8, and Scott caught 7. And Tommy, there has been a lot of pressure this year on David Shula because after the way the Bengals played last year, folks were excited about the Bengals, and the slow start had a little pressure, so it's a big win for him.
Yeah, a big win, and I think we saw a lot of those parts that have been put in place by Mike Brown, the owner of the football team. You saw Kajana Carter. I think that he has showed flashes of the brilliance that they expected when he was drafted #1 2 years ago. You saw Jeff Blake and Darnay Scott and Carl Pickens hook up, but I think people need to understand 60% of the Cincinnati Bengal offensive line was replaced from last year. That's 3 out of the 5 guys are new on that starting front. So it's taken them a while to get some cohesion, but once they do, you see the threat that they have.
And how about Kajana? The first game he averaged 1 yard a carry. Second game he averaged 2 yards a carry. Today, over 3 yards a carry. This is a good trend for the Bengals.
That's right.
When we return on NFL Primetime, Aaron Glenn. Boy, the Jets had some surprises in store for Dan Marino and the Dolphins. And the Lions wanted to avenge their playoff loss to Philly, but Ricky again was running waters.
I say this to many people. What we do, the job we do,
Okay, guys, listen up.
is the most important job I can think of. There's no such thing as a B-plus mechanic on this airline. Everybody knows their job. Everybody's responsible. Anybody, right down to the most junior mechanic, can keep an airplane in his hangar if there's the slightest hint of a problem. Doing a job like this, day in, day out, it'd become routine. You know, just turning wrenches. But every now and then, I just go up and take a walk through the terminal. And right there, right in front of you, you see what's important.
Here's you. Here are the college football games you want to see that you can't get on TV where you live. Here's what you'd have to do to see them. You'd have to go here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And, of course, you'd still need tickets. Now, here's a much better game plan. ESPN Game Plan. Lots of great college football games you can't normally see. Sent right to you. Call your cable operator or DirecTV to order ESPN Game Plan and see some of these great games in your home this Saturday. See Friday's USA Today for Saturday's Game Plan.
Straight talk about hair restoration with Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Why should I choose a Bosley medical doctor?
To begin with, your doctor will have a minimum of 10 years experience in surgical practice. Secondly, he'll be a board-certified surgeon. After he joins us, you can expect that he will have received extensive and intensive training in hair restoration.
Can I expect a customized procedure?
A man's head of hair is virtually as unique as his fingerprints. So, although we've done more than 95,000 procedures over the last 22 years, we are very strong on the point that we take care of those patients one patient at a time.
Don't wait another day to do something about your hair loss. Call 1-800-414-4700 now for this free guidebook and video from the Bosley Medical Institute. That's 1-800-414-4700. It could be one of the most rewarding calls you ever make.
Last year, the Eagles embarrassed the Lions 58-37 in the playoffs at Veterans Stadium. Scott Mitchell and Rodney Peete each struggling thus far this season. It was the Lions that wanted to make a statement. But you know who made the statement? Ricky Running Waters. Look at him run. He could go all the well till Corey Raymond knocks him out of bounds after 53 yards. It was a good part of the way. 3rd and 1 at the 11 Waters. This time he does go in 11 yards. Very quickly, 7-0. Philadelphia on the opening drive.
Yeah, and watch Irving Fryer here get that nice seal block on the inside against Van Malone and allow Ricky Waters to kind of waltz into the end zone.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, a 13-play Lion drive. This is the 13th play of it, and they're going to go in for the touchdown. Oh, no! Scott Mitchell fluttering, intercepted by Bobby Taylor, who had a big game. Mitchell getting some patches already for some irate Lion fans. Start of the second quarter. Mitchell under pressure again, 2nd and 12. But good job by Scott. Real good job. Rights himself and fires to Herman's Moore. Knocked down by Bobby Taylor. What a day he had. Meanwhile, John Gruden and going to work on the Eagles offense. They lead just 10-3 at the half. 2nd and 14 at their own 26. Rodney Peete to Irving Fryer for 17 yards. 3rd and 2 for the Eagles on a Lion blitz. Nice call. Peete the screen to Waters. First down. 2nd and 13. You heard about him in the preseason, leading receiver in the preseason, Chris T. Jones. What a nice moment. Flips the ball to his dad, who is sitting with his mom. His dad goes up and watches the game with his son's first NFL touchdown. What a great moment. 3:47 left in the third. 17-3. Mitchell to Herman Moore. Takes a hit, but hangs on. 29 yards, Tom.
Again, great concentration by Herman Moore. He knows that Mike Zordick is going to make the hit here. Concentrates, pulls the ball in, and shows the great balance. Just keeps on going down the field.
Now, the Eagles did a very good job on Barry Sanders. But look at him on this running. Move there, a move there, another move there. It's a touchdown. Look at it again, Tom.
Yeah, and take a view here from the end zone. Look at the vision, the balance. And then once he spots the end zone, he makes the nice cut up, that low center of gravity, hard to get down that low and make a stop on him.
17-10, the Lions feel it. 10 minutes to go in the game. Peete over the middle of Waters. Look at him take 25 yards and avoid Stephen Boyd. Waters, total game, 210 yards, 153 of them on the ground. 3rd and 29. Peete to Chris T. Jones. Corey Raymond should have had it. He stiff-armed Van Malone. Get out of here. Down at the 1. 1st and goal. Peete says, let me handle it. He goes in for the touchdown. The Lions score late with Sanders, but it was not enough. As the Eagles beat the Lions 24-17. Rodney Peete on the day had a big day, Tommy. 25 of 30 for 284. He watched Brett Favre Monday night.
Yeah, great game plan by John Gruden, their offensive coordinator, keeping the passes short and safe. And forcing the passes to not be mistakes and interceptions.
Yeah, very calm, cool, collected day. It's his highest total 2 years as an Eagle quarterback. 284 yards, 9 for 121 for Chris T. Jones. And what a great moment that was when we return. Hey, the Pack and the Chargers, 2 undefeated teams at Lambeau. Robert Brooks and the Packers, well, they were Chargers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the paint for the Dolphins.
Everybody talks about the future. Some do something about it. Steve Marsden. In just 4 years, Steve will take off as a jet engine mechanic. He'll serve in Tokyo and the Middle East. Steve will become a team leader. He'll receive cash for college while building a career in aviation. Futures like this don't just happen. In today's military, in over 200 careers, you can get the skills and education, the experience and opportunities you want. Make it happen in the U.S. Armed Forces.
I'll buy 10 of these. Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders? Damn, you're the greatest, man. Mind if I get a picture? Thanks, bro. You mind if I write a check? Sure, Deion. I'm just gonna need to see some ID. Say what? Yes, like driver's license, a library card.
Checks. What a pain.
ID.
But now there's a better way. The Visa Check Card. It's an ATM card with a Visa logo that deducts from your checking account automatically everywhere Visa's accepted.
I'm gonna have to call to see if you can cover this.
The Visa Check Card works just like a check, only better.
After last season, Warwick Dunn and the Knowles know anything can happen under the Thursday night lights. They'll look to keep atop the ACC when they tackle the Wolfpack in Raleigh. Florida State, NC State, Thursday at 8, only on ESPN.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Well, happy 35th birthday on Sunday to Dan Marino, and a good start to the season, 2-0 in the Jimmy Johnson era. And remember a couple years ago that Marino faked the spike play and threw a touchdown to Mark Ingram against the Jets. The Jets were befuddled. They were 6-5 at that time. Since that time, in November '94, the Jets have gone 3-20. Could they change things today at Pro Player Stadium? And here we go. Rich Kotite has Jets off to a rocky start. But against Miami, they've traditionally done well against the Dolphins, but not here. Neil O'Donnell, more of the same. Picked off by Terrell Buckley, a 26-yard return. And the Dolphins figured they were in for a laugher. They were in for a surprise. The Jets do come with a pretty good defense. On 1st and goal, Oiving spikes. No, sir. Marvin Jones makes the hit. Jimmy on 2nd down. It's Oiving spikes. No, sir. He's stacked up. On 3rd down, it's Oiving spikes. Rolling left. Good pursuit by Mo Lewis.
Hitting him up high, Chris.
4th down, Tommy. They go for it. Marino to Randall Hill. Oh, and it's Aaron Glenn at the goal line. Danny's not going to catch him. No one's going to catch him. He could. Oh, the way. 100 yards. The Jets lead. J-E-T-S, Jets. They lead it 7-0.
Yeah, and Aaron Glenn does a great job here as we watch the replay of fighting inside Randall Hill to get to the football. And then we take a look at Jimmy Johnson on the sideline. He's going to get it. And he's not.
Well, the Jets get the ball back. And this time Neil O'Donnell goes deep. The veteran. Kind of overlooked with all the money they paid everybody. Webster Slaughter. 14-0 Jets. Could they pull it up, said Tom. Well, next play, as the Dolphins after the kickoff, watch O.J. McDuffie here at the bottom of the screen with the pick on the linebacker. And that'll free Stanley Pritchett. And the rookie fullback kind of snuck out of the backfield, and they're not going to catch it. He does go all the way. 74 yards, 14-7, the Jets. Dolphins with the ball following a Jet punt. Marino to Lamar Thomas. Watch this effort, but a flag on Ray Mickens, the rookie. Next play, and it was funny to hear Marv Albert call Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the plate. Jabbar for 2 years. The touchdown as Robert Wilson makes the block, and we're tied at 14. In the 3rd quarter, tied at 14 still. Dolphins continue to roll. Marino to Jabbar. Jabbar from outside. Yes. 26 yards, setting up a touchdown. A pass to Frank Loudon Wainwright III. He was no dead skunk in the middle of the road. 20-14 Dolphins. Nedney missed the extra point. He was pathetic today. O'Donnell picked off by Louis Oliver, the veteran. Look at him make the move. Tom, is he huffing, puffing?
Louis Oliver cutting and making some cuts we still didn't know he had. And right there, tripped up at the 15.
Great field position for the Dolphins in a wild game. Reno, you remember Clayton and Duper and Fryer from years past. But this time he has a touchdown to Wainwright and a touchdown to Brett Carolyn. 12 yards. It's Victor Green, and they go for 2 points. That doesn't work. 26-14. 4th quarter with the Dolphins up 33-14. The Jets are very game. Jeff Graham off the gamble by Buckley. Takes the pass from O'Donnell, and he could go all the way. 78 yards, and the block by Keyshawn on the play. Miami tries to grind it out. Irving spikes, hit, and then hits it the miss. Victor Green falls on it. Jets ball. 4th and goal from the 29. 4th and goal from the 29. And Keyshawn Johnson goes up and gets the touchdown pass from O'Donnell. It's 33-27. Jimmy turns to his maligned kicker to try and ice it. Joe Nedney has struggled. This time Nedney delivers and kind of puts it out of reach to the chagrin of Rich Kotite. Kind of a wild game. 36-27. The Dolphins are now 3-0, but they really struggled against the Jets. Abdul-Jabbar with 124 yards rushing. Hey, again, Tommy, 40 rushes, 23 passes for Miami. But in this one, this is kind of what we expected to see, you thought?
Well, I think certainly when we've spoken with Jimmy Johnson, one of the things that he speaks to is that this is a young ball club. They're going to make their mistakes, and I think we shouldn't get too fooled by the 2-0, 3-0 start by this ball club. They are a ball club that wants to run the football. They're learning to run it with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And even though the Jets give up 36 points today, I think they saw some flashes, some things that they can build on. Keyshawn Johnson, Jeff Graham, Neil O'Donnell starting to come along. So this may be a different ball club by the time we get to the second half of the season.
Yeah, it's something to build on in Miami. I mean, like you said, not the greatest of wins for them, but they're 3-0, and I don't think you have to apologize about that if we go inside the number. Even though the Jets have won 12 of the last 23 against Miami, over 500, but Dan Marino has some of his best days. Yes, he threw a 100-yard interception today. That is not great on his birthday, but 3 more touchdown passes give him 61 and almost 7,000 yards in 23 games against the Jets. When we return, NFL Primetime. Smith, he's back. Cowboys figure they're in control against the injury-riddled Colts. Surprise. Leader of the pack on defense makes his presence felt.
You've been thinking about getting a digital satellite dish. And thinking some more. Well, think about this. The people at Radio Shack can answer your questions. Plus, now they've got great deals. Like a Prime Star satellite system for only about $1 a day plus installation. 95 channels of Prime sports and movies with terrific picture and sound quality. Think about it. Better yet, stop thinking about it. Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
You want real? I'll give you real. Laura Service, fullback. Laura doesn't create wins, she prevents losses. She's the last line of defense between the other team and highlights at 11. That's real. After protecting her team's gold and self-esteem, she needs food. Real food. Real like a $4 Boston Market chicken carver combo. For a limited time, $4 gets her a chicken carver Sammy, side order, and drink. Then what? She's serving up a few dirt Sammys of her own. Eat big, eat real, eat a Boston Carver.
Most people who play sports have feet that are flat, like this. Some are normal, and some have high arches. Companies like New Balance understand this and make shoes that suit different types of feet. The right one will help enhance your performance. There's just one problem. Which shoe belongs on which foot? Nobody knows the athlete's foot like the athlete's foot. See the latest New Balance 656 at the athlete's foot now.
The Wall Street Journal keeps you on the cutting edge with news and insights that can affect you personally and professionally. Subscribe now and have the Journal delivered to your home or office. And with your paid subscription, you'll also receive our free personal finance software to help you make smart decisions. Get 10 weeks of the Journal and the software for only $3.80 a week. Call now, 800-443-7400. That's 800-443-7400 for the Wall Street Journal.
Saw the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football at Lambeau just throttle the Philadelphia Eagles. But into town came the equally undefeated at 2-0 San Diego Chargers. You figured, well, maybe the Packers would have a letdown. Not in Green Bay. Not where going into today's game, the Pack had won 15 of their last 16 at Lambeau, dating back to early '94. And, folks, the tundra is not yet frozen. How bad will it get then? Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, has it really been 30th anniversary with 2 Super Bowl wins? My goodness. Brett Favre to Robert Brooks over the middle, first drive of the game. Have the Chargers had punted. Hat sets up. Edgar Allan Poe Bennett. 10 yards, except at Lambeau, it's 20 yards, it's 30 yards, and it's into the seats. Bennett, the first to go into the crowd. Would they let him out? Oh, it took a while for him to get out of there, Tom.
Yeah, and Sterling talked this morning about the fullback, William Henderson, being a great blocker. Here you're going to see him take off on Junior Seau, sliding outside, and a seal right there to get Bennett into the end zone.
The score is 7-3 in the second quarter. Favre. Look at this pass. Boy, he throws the slant better than anybody. Harper, not bad coverage, but Antonio Freeman, touchdown. No, it's not 19 yards. It's about 33 yards into the seats. 14-3 and a pass. Sean Jones. Sack Stan Humphries twice. Reggie White. Sack Stan Humphries, boom, twice. Tom, what happened?
Well, you draw up your game plan offensively. You don't want Terrell Fletcher trying to block Reggie White too many times.
I don't think that's going to work. Humphries finally gets some time. Hey, down 14-3, the Chargers looking for a big play. Charlie Jones is open. It's a great throw. Hey! But Jones looks like Dick Enberg on this play. So still in the second quarter. Favre to Robert Brooks. Oh, what a hit and what a catch. Rodney Harrison the hit. Brooks makes the catch. 12 plays later on the drive. Favre scrambles. Oh, and you pay off the blocker. Henderson gets the touchdown. 21-3 Pack. at the half, and another Packer into the seats. Then, third quarter, 28-3. Favre under heavy pressure. Look at the play he makes, Tom.
Yeah, makes a mistake right there, letting the ball slip out, but then look at the awareness and the great tackle. One of the better tackles we saw on the day.
28-10 still, next Packer possession. Edgar Bennett is, he is popped by Kevin Ross. And it's first fumble in 726 carries. Hey, Kevin Ross has hit his entire career.
And Kevin Ross from the old school. Look at him launch himself right there at Bennett. Force the ball out. San Diego gets it.
The score is 28-10. If the Chargers can get in, they can get in the game. But no, the Butler did it. Leroy Butler steps in front, and he could go all the way 90 yards to seal the Packers' victory. He doesn't stop there. I'm going to make it. Can I go? Ah! The veteran is up in there. 35-10 to Pack. Chargers punt on the next possession. And boy, things are going right. Desmond Howard. It's a block from Roderick Miller. Right there. And he's gone. 55 yards for Howard. He, too, is in the seats. 5 of the 6 Packers that scored touchdowns went in the seats. Only Keith Jackson kneeled down in the end zone and said, you know what? I'll get up there the next time. 42-10. The Packers have outscored their opponents 15-26. Tommy, they have made mincemeat of the Eagles and the Chargers, teams that have won all the rest of their ball games.
Outstanding offense both in the run and passing part of their game, and then a defense that takes advantage of the fact that they get up on you quickly.
All right, so the Packers roll it. When we return, they get off the schneid against the Jaguars. Dale Carter. Marty hated this might happen. He played offense and defense for the Chiefs. And Captain Comeback Jim Harbaugh at it again at the home of the Super Bowl champs.
So why did you leave AT&T?
I fell for the gimmicks.
And
I'm disappointed.
I miss AT&T.
AT&T misses you too. So we're making it easy to come back.
Anything that makes my life easier, I'm for it.
How does up to 100 free AT&T minutes sound?
I like free minutes.
We'll send you AT&T long-distance certificates good for up to 100 free minutes, just for switching back to AT&T.
100 free minutes, I'm there.
There's more. Only AT&T customers can get AT&T True Reach savings. Spend $25 a month and you save 25% to anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. You're covered on every type of call on your AT&T phone bill.
What more could you ask for?
How about this? AT&T puts your savings in black and white.
What have I got to do to come back to you guys?
All you have to do is call 1-800-GET-TRUE, and you'll get up to 100 free AT&T minutes. So, what do you think?
I think we'll switch.
Good decision.
Thank you.
You know what to do.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
At the tone, the time will be 7:30 p.m.
And what's coming up Monday night? There's plenty to talk about.
The time will be 7:30.
Join Mike Tirico, Sterling Sharp, and Joe Theismann as they take you deep inside the NFL. Analysis, perspective, experience. It's time to catch NFL Prime Monday. Monday nights at 7:30, only on ESPN.
Welcome back, everybody. We got the Skins and the Giants. Dave Brown had not thrown an INT in 4 games against Washington. Tommy, analysis.
Well, first series here, Brown pressured by Ken Harvey, throws into a pack, and gets the ball picked off. On this play, you watch Sean Gilbert. He's going to make a nice move. And again, Dave Brown back, trying to be aware. He's looking down the football field, but decides a little bit too late to try to get out of the pocket. Sack for Sean Gilbert.
Now in the second quarter, 10-0 Skins. Looky, 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 a fake. Russ Farad to a wide-open Scott Galbraith. And we have a touchdown, Norv Turner, just the way I drew it up. 17-0 Skins. 1 minute left in the first half. It's Dave Brown. He's got Aaron Pierce, 7 yards, touchdown. 17-7 Giants down. First Giants TD in 28 possessions. Wow. Third quarter. Rodney, Hampton bursting outside. He's going to go 25 yards. Watch Daryl Morrison come in. What do we have? Personal foul on the defense, 15 yards. Inside the 5, Dan Reeves goes with Tyrone Wheatley. Denied on a 2nd and 2. And, Tommy, that sets up 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd down and 1 for the Giants. Brown here looking for Chris Callaway. Tries to throw back across the grain, and Darrell Green does a great job of breaking it up.
First play of the 4th quarter now. Terry Allen, who rushed for 146 yards in the game. He carries it in. Skins up 24-10. 8 straight games now with a touchdown for Terry Allen. Giants trying to come back. Brown looking deep for Amani Toomer. Tom Carter, 2nd interception of the ball game. Dave Brown, Marcus Patton, a mini fracas. 4 INTs for Brown in the game, and the Redskins win it by the final score of 31-10. So Washington snaps a 6-game losing streak against the Giants. Just the Skins' 5th win in their last 26 games against divisional opponents. Next stop, we got Jacksonville and the Raiders from the newly renovated Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Raiders coming in having lost 8 in a row. Jeff Hostetler finally back from the injuries. Here, pass tipped, intercepted by Vinnie Clark. He's going to fumble, but Jacksonville recovered. It's a little bit concerned. Hey, I'm a little rusty. Second quarter, 1st and 10, Raiders on the move. Hostetler going long. James Jets got the Jets. Overthrown. 3 plays later, 4th and 4. Another trick play in this one. We got Jeff Gossett's arm down the sideline. Tip here, tip there, tip everywhere. Where is it? Tip there, dropped. Tommy, what do we have?
Well, Kenny Shedd, the wide receiver, he gets bumped here. Would have been an interference call, but then he proceeds to grab the defender, offsetting penalties. Raiders, instead of having the ball at the 1, you line up and do it over again.
Now Hostetler to Tim Brown, 19 yards. Touchdown, 7-0 Raiders. Hostetler, excellent in the first half. Raiders up 10-zip at the half. Third quarter, Natron Means, first appearance this season, back from the injured thumb. His first carry of the season, 12 yards. Mike Hollis then would come on for a field goal. Jags down 10-3. Still third quarter, Raiders driving. Hostetler, hands to Napoleon Kaufman, 33 yards on this play down inside the Jags 10, but Tommy, a disastrous situation.
Yeah, the Raiders doing a lot of work in between that neutral zone, 20-20 with their running backs, but no rushing TDs in the last 32 quarters, and Harvey Williams keeps that going by fumbling right here, 3rd and goal.
Fourth quarter, under 3 minutes to go, Jags down 10-3. 4th and 5. Brunell hits Andre Rison. Close to a first down. Favorable spot. Measurement. First down. Next play, though. 1st and 10 for the Raiders, 26. Brunell on the blitz. Jerry Ball's got it. Jerry Ball's having a ball. You know why? Because he's got the ball. Jerry Ball's going 66 yards. The big guy with the touchdown. Cannot believe it. It clinches the Raiders' win. 15-3 is your final score. So the Raiders snap the 8-game losing streak. Jacksonville now 0-9 against teams outside the AFC Central. Haas, first game back, 18-26, 200 yards. So the Raiders win. Tommy talked about it last week. Just win 1, baby.
Jerry Ball should run out of the backfield. That would get it in the end zone. Hey, they'll start to think about that at Oakland. Well, last year, Billy, the Indianapolis Colts obviously fell 1 Hail Mary short of beating the Steelers and getting to the Super Bowl where they would have played the Cowboys. They spent all offseason wondering what would have been like to play the Cowboys. Today, they got their chance. Here we go. From Big D with the hole in the roof. Opening kickoff. Aaron Fairley fields it at the 2. Makes the move at the 15. Cuts back at the 20. Steps a couple of would-be tacklers. Avoids the tackle there. And he could go all the way. 98 yards. The Colts on the opening kickoff have the lead, but wait a minute. Flag on the play. Flags falling early and often against the Colts. Colts, Cowboys down 3-0, but Aikman to Deion Sanders, 16-yard reception, has the ball, doesn't have the helmet. 3rd and 6, same drive from the 11. Emmett, 5 yards, short of the first down. Barry Switzer says, go, on 4th and 1. The fake, and Moose Johnston is wide open. He's back there at the fullback, 7-3, the Cowboys. Second play, second quarter. Jim Harbaugh from
Uncle High School, that's critical information.
Hit by Tony Tolbert right there. Fumble. Deion Sanders picks it up. High stepping. Prime timing. 22 yards. Hipping. Hopping. Touchdown 14-3 Dallas. Deion 49 of the 65 plays in the first half. Harbaugh picked off by Roger Harper, the former Falcon. Harper returns it to midfield. Sets up. 2nd and goal. And Emmitt Smith. Up the middle, it's going to be a laugher. 21-3, Dallas. Early in the third quarter, couple field goals by Blanchard makes it 21-9. Harbaugh to Marcus Pollard. Gets a block. Gets another block. Oh, he sidesteps 2 tacklers, and he's gone. What a play. 48 yards, 21-16.
Yeah, and that initial block, you see Kurt Loudermilk spot shadowed right here. Throws that block and allows him to get down the field for that big gain.
And then Harbaugh driving again. 3rd and 2 from the 8. To Ken Dilger. What a fine target the second-year tight end is. And the Colts lead at 22-20 when they go for 2, but they miss it. Cowboys now lead 24-22. Chris Boniel from 40 yards. Doink! No good! A critical miss. The Cowboys still lead it, but just by 2. 24-22. 51 seconds to go. Carey Blanchard from 43 yards out. Good! His fourth field goal. It's 25-24 Colts. 22 seconds to go. Aikman. Oh, it's to Kelvin Martin. Dallas has a chance. 56-yard attempt. Chris Boniel. It's up. It's on its way. Yeah! Oh! It's off the crossbar. It's no good. The Colts, a 10-point underdog, have beaten the Cowboys for the first time since Jim O'Brien kicked a field goal in Super Bowl V. 25-24. Afterwards, Jim Harbaugh ecstatic.
This might be the best win I've ever been associated with because it was a great team victory. When you got guys like Alberts, Bennett, Falk, Ellis Johnson, and Lewinberg and a lot more guys in street clothes, you know, you come down here and you get guys that haven't played much to go in and still fight like they did. It's a great team victory, and I'm happier to be a part of this one than, you know, a lot of other days when I had better statistics or bigger comebacks. This was just a great team victory to be a part of.
Meanwhile, the Chiefs trying to go like the Colts, 3-0. They're at Seattle, team that they swept last year by running the football. So, what happened? Steve, I got you, Babe Bono, to Kimball Anders. Kimball is quick. Quick as a candlestick, 24 yards. Jack B. Kimball. First and goal from the 9. I got you, babe. Chris Penn for the depleted wide receiver core of the Chiefs. It's a touchdown, 7-0 for Marty Hottenheimer. Bono, next play, throws it deep. Wait a minute. This is the Pro Bowl corner, Dale Carter. He's gone. Dion's all over the league. 14-0, the Chiefs. Seattle's next possession. Rick Meyer to Chris Warren. Big hole until... Oh, look at the speed of Neil Smith.
Yeah, great job by Neil Smith, who weighs about 290 pounds, of hustling and taking the right angle and clipping Warren right there on his ankles to bring him down.
And it saved the touchdown. Seattle would not score in that possession still. 14-0 Kansas City. 10 minutes to go in the second. Chris Penn fumbles the punt because Vanover couldn't play. He was in there. Seattle recovers, gets a field goal, 14-3. Lamar Smith breaks down the right side. 29 yards with Carter in pursuit. That sets up his own 3-yard touchdown run. It's 14-10. The Seahawks coming back. But 2-minute drill for Kansas City has led him down to the 1, and Bono to Penn. Wow, that's a pretty looking play, Tom. 21-10 Kansas City at the half. They just execute so well to the Chiefs. More Bono. It's Dale Carter for 10 yards. And Bono to the backup tight end. The first 2 tight ends inactive. Reggie Johnson, 19 yards. Bono threw 485 yards and 3 touchdowns. No, now 1 pick. That led to Marcus Allen, 11,000 yards rushing. Marcus, 127th rushing touchdown, had a pair. We'll get it straight. The Chiefs win 35-17. Marcus had a pair of touchdowns, and we showed you that Carter caught the balls for 60 yards. So the Chiefs 3-0, and the Seahawks are 0-3 at time. But let's get back very quickly to the job done by the Indianapolis Colts and Jim Harbaugh and company. They fear no evil, do they?
Yeah, what an outstanding win with all the people that they had out. You heard Jim Harbaugh mention them. And then when you look at the Cowboys, and I think we want to give full credit to the Colts. And the Cowboys are an outstanding ball club, but what atrocious tackling today by the Cowboys on at least 2 or 3 occasions where people made big gains that could have been held just the first down.
You know, and we're seeing some of the teams come up with it here, but Ken Dilger, and we saw him on the touchdown, what a weapon he is for the Colts.
Well, and when he's going down the football field, they're certainly trying to figure out, if you're a DB or a smallish linebacker, you're trying to figure out exactly how you want to hit this guy, because if you get up in his chest, he's going to hurt you.
It kind of reminds me, we were tossing around some of the great names. Not so much a speed guy, but like a Riley Odom, the old Denver Bronco, and some of the other fine tight ends. What a target for Harbaugh. What a win for the Indianapolis Colts. When we return, well, first let's go inside the numbers. As Dion had a touchdown, of course. So that means he has 6 TDs on interceptions, 3 on a kick return, 3 receiving, 2 punt returns, 1 rushing, 1 fumble return, a partridge, and a pear tree. But the Colts still won. When we return on NFL Primetime, game balls. And you know what? Mom and Dad have this guy's game ball. So obviously, I'm going to give him one. We'll just remind you who it is in a moment.
Can you tell which man is at home And which is in a Residence Inn hotel room?
Honey, can you take out the garbage?
That was a hint. Residence Inn by Marriott. The next best thing to home.
So why did you leave AT&T?
I fell for the gimmicks.
And
I'm disappointed.
I miss AT&T.
AT&T misses you too. So we're making it easy to come back.
Anything that makes my life easier, I'm for it.
How does up to 100 free AT&T minutes sound?
I like free minutes.
We'll send you AT&T long-distance certificates good for up to 100 free minutes, just for switching back to AT&T.
100 free minutes, I'm there.
There's more. Only AT&T customers can get AT&T True Reach savings. Spend $25 a month and you save 25% to anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. You're covered on every type of call on your AT&T phone bill.
What more could you ask for?
How about this? AT&T puts your savings in black and white.
What have I got to do to come back to you guys?
All you have to do is call 1-800-GET-TRUE, and you'll get up to 100 free AT&T minutes. So, what do you think?
I think we'll switch.
Good decision.
Thank you.
You know what to do.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
Time Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. The way we call collect today.
I'm giving my game ball to one of the members of Houston Oilers' fine secondary, Darrell Lewis. Had a pair of picks today as the Oilers beat the Ravens to go 2-1 for Jeff Fisher. Billy, what do you have?
My game ball goes to Chris T. Jones. He had 9 catches, 121 yards as Philly beats Detroit 24-17. Tommy, what do you have?
Pick another wide receiver. My game ball goes to Robert Brooks of the Green Bay Packers. Not so much for the yardage, but for the toughness he showed in this game. 8 catches, 108 yards. And we'll be back.
If you need a Visa credit card, we have a special offer just for you. We guarantee to give you a credit card with no security deposit required, regardless of your past credit history. Almost everyone will be approved for a Visa card, even if you've been turned down before. If you meet our minimum requirements, your approval is guaranteed. Our offer is for an unsecured credit card. This means that you're not required to send in a security deposit. Don't miss this limited offer to obtain a Visa card with no security deposit. Call our number now. An application will be sent to you immediately.
High technology, high demand, and a career that takes off to new heights. Spartan School of Aeronautics can give you your start in aviation, offering diploma and degree programs in avionics, avionics instruments, aviation maintenance in helicopter, flight training, non-destructive testing, and quality control.
For more information, call Spartan at 1-800-544-1000. Call now.
Did soccer discover America, or did America finally discover soccer? Discover the MLS on ESPN. The New England Revolution takes on the DC United Tuesday at 7:30 on ESPN. Finally, America gets it.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by Boston Market. And now, for a limited time at Boston Market, you can get a delicious chicken carver combo for just $4.
All right, our NFL Primetime honor roll, 100-yard rushers. We got a couple of pages to show you. Ricky Running Waters had over 200 yards total. Terry Allen and the big Redskins win at the Giants. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the paint with the skyhook. And Emmitt Smith, 101 yards in the Cowboys' loss. 300-yard passers, Neil O'Donnell. Well, there's a shimmering light there for the Jets, even though they fell at Miami. 100-yard receivers. Michael Haynes had a big day for the Saints in a losing cause. Jeff Graham had that long one to put him over 100 yards. Chris T. Jones, who got Billy's game ball. Other 100-yard receivers include Robert Brooks, who got Tommy's game ball. Prime Monday, Mike, Sterling, Joe, the gang. NFL Prime Monday. They get you set for the Bills at the Steelers. That's 7:30 Eastern, 5:30 Mountain Time. And then I ready for some football. The Bills and the Steelers. Monday Night Football from the confluence of Three Rivers Stadium. It's on ABC, Monday at 9 Eastern, 6 West Coast, 7 Mountain. I'm giving all the mountain times now. As for Emmitt Smith, we got Emmitt Smith here. A 100-yard day for the Cowboys running back, but alas, the Super Bowl champs are 1-2. Afterwards, he talked about it.
You know, no lapses at all. Every time we take a step back and breathe, well, you know what, the next team is back on phone us again. You know, we got a lot of work to do, and a lot more games.
Well, I was speaking for Emmett there as a ventriloquist at that point, but the voice of Emmett Smith. To the Cowboys, whether is this deep trouble, Tom, or just a loss against a team that was very tough?
I don't think so, and I think if you listen to Emmett, what he said is that we can't afford to have lapses, and I think that that's exactly what happened in this case. You get up quickly on the Indianapolis Colts. They come in with a depleted lineup. You think this may be a game that's going to be easier than we first thought. But I think that the Cowboys still, without Jay Novacek, without Michael Irvin, people still have to realize this is a ball club that has about 10 Pro Bowlers on that team.
Remember last year what the Colts did as giant killers, Tommy? They knocked the Rams and the Dolphins from the rank of the undefeated. Right. They beat the Super Bowl champion Niners. They beat the defending AFC champion Chargers and did the playoffs. They knocked the Chiefs out with the best record, and now they beat the Super Bowl champion Cowboys. And we were kind of wondering about the AFC, especially with Colts down 21-3. Chargers lambasted at Lambeau.
That's right.
But there's a flicker of hope. And, of course, the Steelers and Bills play Monday night, and the Broncos play Sunday night.
Yeah, this is very encouraging, I think, for the AFC to think at least maybe we'll have a contender sometime down the road in January.
All right, well, that's week 3 on a Sunday in the National Football League with the judge, Bill Pito, and Thomas Jackson. I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching this edition of NFL Primetime.